Hi there, this is gonna be my Omega Red Pro Tips video for Alliance War, specifically Alliance War Season 34 with the Mystic defensive tactic in play, where you just don't want to trigger buffs on yourself because you'll miss for 4 seconds and the defenders will get that protection buff. So here we have a first fight, Killmonger on path in section 1 path 2. So Killmonger, you just don't want to trigger a lot of debuffs on him. So whenever I fight Killmonger, I just start off the fight with just blocking and baiting out his heavy. And then counter with your own heavy. That way his reverb will activate when he's at 0 power. So you'll get no damage back from that ability. And then you just try to manage the charges and just play out the fight normally. Korg here also just block at the start. Omega Red has this ability to prevent opponents from shrugging off debuffs by 10% for each spore in the opponent. And if you have a Red Guardian on your team, you will start with those like 6 spores, but still it's only 60% chance. So that's why I like to start the fights, even though if I have Red Guardian, I just like to start a fight with blocking and then just doing either a combo in their block, that way they're above 10 spores, or just, I don't know, parry and then get them above 10 spores, and then you can parry normally, not having to worry about them shrugging it off. So this node 20-man thing, that's probably the most common placement. It's super easy, you just need to watch out for minimizing your hits and also starting the fight where you want to block, dash back, and then wait for like 0.2 seconds before going in, because his unstoppable will last just enough that if you go in straight after dashing back, you will get clipped by him. So you just want to wait a tiny bit and then just punish his heavy. It's super easy if you just practice a bit against your own man things. You'll get it down in no time. This was a Guardian on 24, so pretty easy matchup. You just want to build up your spores. There's no need to hit him after you've done your heavy. You just want to build it up to 30 and then do a couple of attacks and reapply your degen, and that's pretty much it, right? Super easy, straightforward fight. Guardian isn't the tankiest opponent, so he went down pretty quickly. Now here I think I take path 1 in section 2, which is a Toad. You don't have to care about his poisons because Omega Red is immune, so this will be just a regular quick fight. This node, I think, is where you don't want to dash back twice, because then they will get the regen passive. So yeah, you just dash back once, parry. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you do dash twice. It's the regen is not enough to really be a problem, since you're already doing like what, over 3,000 damage each half second with Omega Red. So yeah, you see this was like a 20-second fight. Next up is Mysterio. So Mysterio, I usually like to fight to just like maximally slow play it, not let him throw any specials, because he has those annoying mechanics with special 1. After special 1 you don't want to hit him, and also after special 2 you can miss and also have your power drain. So you just slow play it, let your spores build, reapply your heavy, and basically that's gonna be it. So you see, after he gets above 1 bar of power, I just continue blocking and then reparrying. In general, like for Omega Red, you do want to get better at reparrying, at staying close to your opponent, so that would include a lot of parrying on the wall. That's, I think, how I did it, and how I think is the best way to get better at just like parrying the opponent while you're close to them. Because parrying them while they're dashing at you is simple, but parrying right after the stun expires is where it gets tricky. And the best way to learn it is just you go any fight, like you can go against Winter Soldier, it doesn't matter. Just go to your wall and then parry. Don't do anything, so don't dash back, don't hit them. After the stun expires, try to parry them again. I mean, maybe Winter Soldier is not the best because he tends to be sometimes a little more defensive, whereas Alliance War AI is usually offensive as hell. But yeah, any practice mode or any quest where it's like high enough, so like let's say Act 5 onwards, you can just go in and try to get better at parrying while staying close to the opponent. Also, you can practice doing like a light tap and then right into parry. That's also useful when you don't want to throw the same attack twice. This is the fight where I actually died. You see, I made a mistake, or it wasn't. I mean, it was a mistake, but it was due to like probably poor reflexes in the moment. So I missed heavy basically, and then yeah, my indestructible boost wore off, and then a lot of shit went down, and I died. But it's not a best matchup for Mega Red here, I'd say, because there's a lot of stuff going on, so you don't want to get buffs on yourself, you don't want buffs on the defender. Also, there's power reserve for like 40% or something, so he can just spam specials, or power reserve, power efficiency, whatever. And also there's return policy. Now return policy also feeds him power if you proc dexterity, so just stay away from fighting Mangogs on 48 this season. I think that's best. Now this is War 2. We have Mojo on that masochism, or like delayed masochism, whatever it's called, node, but it doesn't really matter because we're over 10 spores and they can't shrug off debuffs, so the node doesn't really come into play, and you just want to re-parry as much as possible, preferably not allow Mojo to throw any specials, and yeah, that's it. The fight was done in less than 20 hits. With Omega Red in general, you just want to slow down your play. It's not about going ham on the opponent, throwing 5-hit combos. It's mostly just building up your spores, either through just staying close to them, blocking, or like just parry, wait a second, back off, parry, etc. Now, as I said, on Man-Thing 20, you want to block at the start. Here, I did not block. I just went for the parry. But if you're ready for it, I mean, Masochism ate the parry, but if you're ready for it, then it's fine. Also, I usually manage my charges, the node charges, with light, medium, and heavy attacks a bit better, but here he was just going down so fast that I just went for it through double heavies, and yeah. Then we have Bishop on 22. I think that node has something to do with if you proc buffs or they expire on you, they gain power, so try to minimize your dexterity, so focus on repairing here and just slow playing it as much as possible. So I do like 2 hits, 2 lights, then since he didn't go for it, I just tapped his block to keep the spores up, and then applied the degen, and then try to build your spores as quickly as possible. Also reapply the degen. Now he also has backup recovery, so his power will shoot up now, so be ready for it, and re-parry for pushing him over those 2 bars of power. I think I went for the kill here because I thought it would be enough, and it was. But even if he did manage to proc his special 3, I'd still have invulnerability boost on, so it wouldn't matter. Now this is iHulk. So some people say they don't like playing against iHulk with Omega Red, and yeah, I do agree, in some cases it can be pain. Like if certain nodes come into play, then yeah, maybe he's not the best option, but if there's nothing special going on, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't want to play against iHulk. I mean, yeah, you'll feed his gamma power, but it's like whatever. He's just gonna die after the unblockable phase ends. See, against iHulk, you just want to reapply the degen right before he goes into the unblockable phase. That way, you'll have degen locked in for the longest duration. And yeah, see, he exits the regen phase with like what, 25% heal, and yeah, it's just like one heavy and one parry and he's down, so it's no problem. Next up is, okay, Scarlet Witch. That's an easy fight. You don't really have anything to worry about. Just don't push her over 2 bars of power, which you will never do unless you just go ham and spam your attacks. Into block, you can do like a 4-hit combo, but never, with Omega Red, never do like a full-on 5-hit combos, except for like some specific scenarios, or if like they're close to dying and it doesn't matter. Yeah, see, she won't even throw his one specials. That's it. Now, next up is Mangok 46, which, unlike Mangok 48, is no problem, because you don't have to really worry about buffs, debuffs, either on you or him. Here, it's free heal for Omega Red with, usually it's a free heal with the Thorns node, but since Mangok can proc armor up buffs, you will never have bleed on yourself besides the Suicide Mastery one. But as you can see, also because it's not a mini boss, his health is much lower, so he just goes down in like, what, sub 15 hits? Yeah, like, okay, 16 hits, whatever. Next up is, I think, Cersei. No, it's Super Scroll on 48. Now, 48 node has become slightly annoying, let's say, but if you slow play it at times, it doesn't really matter. You just have to be wary about missing. Here also I eat special or heavy attack from Super Scroll, and my invulnerability boost is gone now, so I played super carefully here, just not to like push him to special 2 because it's a bitch to dodge, or special 3. Yeah, here, see, because I procced dexterity, I triggered the Mystic node, and yeah, I was just trying to lock in the degen with a heavy. And yeah, he'll go down eventually. I think I handled this fight pretty well, considering the first slip up on his heavy. Here I shouldn't have probably attacked, because now he has that 33% damage reduction. But it was like so close, and because of the momentum of the fight and like the spacing, I just wanted to push him away a bit, because usually even if you miss, I notice that if you miss, DAI tends to dash back after the stun wears off. Here we have IBOM on 51. Now this fight is a complete joke. Like, you can go in this fight with like 10% health without any boosts if you know what you're doing, and you'll end up healing for like 50% of your health. Omega Red is poison immune. Conflictor doesn't matter because he can't shrug off debuffs, and that's basically the only problem with IBOM on this node, is because if you don't have someone who can prevent shrugging off debuffs, IBOM will gain a lot of power by applying poisons to himself. So yeah, 54 Sorcerer Supreme. Now, this is usually an easy fight. I don't know if it was this season or last, but one season I ate one of the specials or some attacks, and I lost my invulnerability boost, so I was super careful not to push her to special 3, because usually I just play aggressive and don't care about her power. If she throws special 2, you can dodge it really easy. If she goes to special 3, you don't care because you have invulnerability boost, and she's gonna be dead after throwing that special 3 anyways. So yeah, here the timing was a bit awkward, so my degen dropped off right as she was about to channel her special 2, and my spores dropped drastically. See, now there's 0 spores on her, but just okay. And I procced dexterity, so I didn't pay attention to. And see here, yeah, this was a war. I ate a special 2. Now I have 1 invulnerability boost charge left, so she can go with her special 3, but I'd rather not. I get to my special 3, I think this kills her, or if it doesn't, then the degen right afterwards will. But yeah, usually this fight is a lot cleaner. This was kind of one of those, I don't know, maybe lack of concentration in the moment, but it's still, I wasn't even close to dying. Now this is war 3, I think, or 2, I lost count. So it's a Tigra on path 1, section 1. Usually I approach this fight by not caring about the node at all, because it rarely comes into play, and even if she does get the regen, it's so small that, like, see, the degen damage just makes it a joke. I noticed that I triggered dexterity, so I didn't go in after those parries because I would have missed. And yeah, you just wait out the timer and that's it. Longshot is always tricky because of his like 300% increased ability accuracy thing, where I'm always kind of like, not say afraid, but I do play carefully around Longshot. See here, like my parry failed for some fucking reason. I don't really know what the hell happened. And then I think, yeah, again parry fails, but now I'm ready for it. Also, my degen didn't apply with heavy, so yeah, see here, first hit didn't apply it, but the second one did, thankfully. You just want to be ready for anything with Longshot is basically what I'm saying. And all that being said, look, I ended the fight with 98%, so wasn't even close to like dying or anything like that. Again, Man-Thing on 20. By now you should realize how to play Man-Thing just by reviewing my footage. So here, see again, I parried this time, but this war I learned that if you dodge his heavy and proc dexterity, you don't want to go in right afterwards. You just want to parry and then wait out the timer and then start stacking up your spores. And this is why invulnerability boost is such a great boost, because I took almost 0 damage even though I slipped this fight. Next up, I think it's path 2 in section 2. It's the Thor Rags. Here you just want to parry as little as possible, so this is why I go in for block hits and then lock in the degen. Then see here, I became unblockable, but even if I didn't, I would just throw hits into his block to stack up spores. Go for another parry. Now I'm at 2 disorient passives on me. 1 falls off, but it really doesn't matter because Thor is already dead. Next up, I think it was who was it? Miles, yeah. Miles, you just don't want to throw specials because you can miss, and you don't want to dash twice in a row because then you'll proc the disorient debuffs. So your best friend for this fight, this node, is just reparrying. See, this will be like a 11 hit fight. Miles naturally has a lower health pool, so he just went down so quickly. This war we have Cersei on 48. Now Cersei, she's kind of annoying because of her glance mechanic, where you won't be able to lock in your degen with a heavy. So you kind of have to play around that. Also, get good at dodging her special 1 and special 2, because on this node she'll throw a lot of those. But yeah, see here, she procced the glance thing, and even if I did throw heavy now, see I did, the degen wouldn't stick, but I wanted to throw it just so I don't get the falter debuff on me. Because if for this node, if when the buff on her expires, if you throw a special or a heavy, then she will get the miss or the falter debuff and not you. See, like here happen again. And now I locked my degen before her glancing thing, and it's stuck. Now again, I tried doing it once more and it didn't stick. Here I dodged special 2, again special 1, and this is, yeah, just you want to slow down the fight a bit, just try to be careful, get those spores built up, and she'll eventually go down. This fight is not as quick as some of the other Omega Red fights, just because there's a bunch of things to watch out for. But if you do slow play it, then it's not gonna be a problem. Now next up we have Strife on 51. He has nothing special besides his miss after throwing special 1. Also on this node, the special connoisseur, I think it's called, where you don't want to do 2 consecutive same hits. So no, you don't want to do 2 lights, 2 heavies, 2 mediums in a row, because then he'll get the prowess, and that prowess actually hurts even through your block. So I just try to like parry, do a light, then parry again, do heavy, parry, do a light, then parry heavy. So you don't want to parry heavy and then parry heavy again, because he will get that prowess. Here I slipped up a bit, but it doesn't really matter. He's already so low and he goes down. Now we have Mangog on 54. I think someone will apply Mr. Fantastic Petrify pre-fight just to make it easier. Now I've died to the Mangogs on 54, I think twice, and it was because so this is a special bias 2 node, and both times that I died to it was because Mangog kept throwing special 1s, even though I was like holding block. And I have a video, I think one where he threw 5 consecutive like special 1s in a row, and it was just, I was in awe, like what the hell is happening? Why are you throwing special 1s even when you're on a special 2 bias node? Normally, like this fight is not an issue. You just push him to a special 3, and he'll either die before throwing his special 3, or he'll throw a special 3. Your invulnerability boost will eat the damage, and then you just finish off the fight with 1 or 2 more hits. See here, I noticed that I missed, and immediately went into blocking, waited for him to throw the special 3, and yeah, that was it. Yeah, lock in the degen again, and I think I threw my special 3 just to end the fight. Yeah. Now this was the last war. Again, I think I had paths 1 and 1 in section 1 and 2. Again, Tigra on this node, also really common placing, but it's no problem with Omega. Yeah, see, she procced the healing, but who the hell cares? My spore damage is way higher than that healing, and yeah. Even with 3 stacks, the degen just out damages that heal. Next up is Misty on that delayed masochism node, but Misty doesn't have anything special in her kit. I think this fight will be over under 15 hits. Yeah, see here, I did some duels before going in, but I guess not enough because her heavy I was still not comfortable like punishing her heavy, and she evaded, but luckily didn't punish me. But even if she did punish, she wouldn't really do that much damage. And yeah, she went down pretty quickly. Again, Man-Thing on 20. I think this will be a clean takedown. I learned my lesson with the last war and the Mystic being actually relevant. So you just don't want to trigger dexterity, or if you do, just watch out for it. See here, I went for the parry, and again, see, I triggered the dexterity, and now I'm showing off actually how big of a deal it is to know how to parry consistently without doing any hits, and that just comes through practice. So I can't emphasize enough, just go in and practice just parrying on the wall, and it will become a muscle memory thing really fast. Kingpin on 22. Again, not much to look out for except backup recovery and not triggering dexterity a bunch. So my tactic usually for this is to make him throw special 1 right before he drops below 50%. That way he'll have almost 0 power, and when the backup recovery kicks in, see here now, he'll gain again 1 bar of power, and he can throw it again. Now I triggered dexterity, so he did get to a special 2, but I just kept parrying and slow playing it. Also, I tried to like heal a bit here, but it wasn't enough to kill him, so I ended up actually taking more damage than if I just left the spores on him, and that would be it. So these are a couple of like war fights from this season. I hope you can see that a lot of the fights are not affected by the new global, and that the best way to play Omega is to just like slow play it and not go ham throwing a bunch of 5-hit combos, because that's not how the character was designed. You should really learn how to reparry and do parries back to back. Also, maybe practice parry light tactic, and just trying to like stay close to the opponent. Also, be aware of the fact that even if they are blocking, you can go in and do a couple of hits, and that way you can also keep the spore count up. And that would be all. I hope you learned something from it, and I hope I'll make another Omega Red video that's a bit more polished. This one was for my alliance mates, just so they can see how to properly play Omega Red. And yeah, that'll be all. Thanks for watching. Bye.